four-wheeler electric vehicle segment in India is quickly getting populated. Over the last couple of years, we've seen several new entrants coming out in the market with electric vehicles. Tata Motors, a wholly Indian player, was quite a dominant force in the electric vehicle segment. They launched the Nexon EV and the Tigor EV, which have doing tremendously well. The highest numbers coming from Tata Motors in the electric vehicle segment. Of course, Hyundai is there, the Korean manufacturer who came in with the Kona, and of course that was one of the first electric vehicles to come out into the country. Then we've had MG with the ZS EV. And keep in mind, the ZS EV is the only car in India which is already in its second generation electric that has come into India. On the European side, of course, we've had Audi, we've had Mercedes-Benz, we've had Jaguar who've come out with their luxury premium electric SUVs. BMW's been a little late to the party, but the iX will be coming out very shortly. But what we're here to drive today at the Indy karting circuit, this is the go-kart circuit, is one of BMW subsidiary companies, Mini, and this is their Mini Electric. Well, nothing spells go-karting dynamics better than a Mini, and this is the electric version of it. I'm here to see just how exciting, how fun it is to drive the Mini Electric. So let's get on with it. So the ideal condition to be in the Mini SE, the electric, is of course the sport mode. That's when you can exploit the complete dynamic range of this hatchback. If you want to extend range, well, you need to shift into the green or the green plus mode. Now, the Mini has got 4 driving modes, and those are Sport, the Mid, the Green and the Green Plus. Now, each of these modes effectively alters the way power is delivered to the front wheels. This is a front wheel drive hatchback, and you get range accordingly. Now, I'm going to slip it into Sport mode, and that has dropped my range to about 113 kilometers. But if I had to go into green mode, it increases to about 120 kilometers. Green Plus extends it by another 3 kilometers, taking it up to 123 kilometers. But what I do miss on the Mini is essentially the fact that it does not have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. But then again, I mean, this is an electric vehicle, not an ICE, but the feel is characteristically Mini. This is a quick car. Understeery at the front, but quick and enormous fun. This thing is such a hoot. But driving a Mini is not just about being on a go-kart circuit. And while a go-kart circuit is a lot of fun for a car of this order, we still want to take it out on the road. So let's just do that and see what the Mini Electric feels like in real-world conditions. So the very same go-kart feeling that you get, rather that I experienced on that go-kart track, that same characteristic, of course, can be felt over here as well. There is a lot of stability, there is a lot of precision, but like most of the Mini Coopers, what you get is a fairly stiffly sprung suspension setup, and that means you get a little bit of bounciness. The roads I'm driving on, of course, these are concrete sections, and those expansion joints, you can feel the expansion joints. You can feel any deformation, and even the surface quality, which isn't all that smooth. Those undulations, you can sense the bounciness. Nonetheless, what I am surprised about is at the same time, it's a reasonably comfortable ride quality. Now, don't go expecting BMW levels of comfort and silkiness, especially on the 7 Series and some of the more fancier comfort cars that they've got. But yes, this is kind of 3 Series territory. The Mini Cooper SE, the electric version, well, it's got very similar design layouts compared to the standard Mini Cooper. But not much has changed apart from, of course, the graphic elements and a few colors on the interiors. I do like the green touches that you see in places, especially on the instrument binnacle right behind the steering wheel, the green highlights on the gear shift lever, even the ignition start-stop switch. Well, those are the only elements that would actually tell you that this car that you're driving is an electric, of course, apart from the fact that there's just no sound coming in, there's no engine noises. It's got a nice texture on the dashboard, the plastics are soft touch, you can actually see this, you can actually feel the soft touch bits there. It's all very luxurious, it's all very fancy, it's all very funky. Very in line with what Mini portrays in all of their cars. The Mini Cooper SE comes with a 32.6 kilowatt-hour battery pack. Now, this construction is in the shape of a T, where the center battery pack, made of 12 modules, sits along the center transmission tunnel and then spreads out towards the rear in the shape of a T. Interestingly, it does not occupy any more space, and so the cabin space in the Mini Cooper SE, the electric Mini Cooper, is just as much as you get in the standard Mini Cooper. Now, 32.6 kilowatt hours may seem like a significantly small battery, but the battery management system is optimized to get the best range possible in these urban conditions. I'm driving out here in traffic, and since we set out this morning, we've seen close to about 210 kilometers of range, which has significantly over time dropped down. I'm now sitting at a 50% charge, and the range is showing me about 76 kilometers. Urban conditions, yes, wears it down significantly. If I had to go to 100%, it would show me, well, about 140 kilometers. But keep in mind, I've also been driving at the go-kart circuit, and we've been pushing this car hard, which of course has depleted range considerably. But here in urban conditions, I'm on green mode. Of those 4 driving modes, I'm in green mode, and that's allowing the battery management system to, well, regulate the flow of energy to the driven wheels, which in this case is the front wheels. Mini claims under WLTP cycles, this car is capable of delivering about 220 to 270 kilometers of range. I don't think that would be possible in real world conditions. Nonetheless, if you are driving it in green mode, I think you could comfortably get about 200 kilometers on a full charge. Mini also claims this car can be charged at speeds of up to 50 kilowatts on a DC fast charging unit, which means if you had to get a fast charging unit, a 50 kilowatt fast charging unit, you'd get a full charge in just about an hour, which isn't too bad for a car of this order at all. Max power output from this electric motor is rated at 184 horsepower with 270 Newton meters of max torque. It is a reasonably quick car as well. 0 to 100 is achieved in just about 7.3 seconds, which is fast. Now, the Mini Cooper Electric has got 2 regenerative modes, and it's ideal to set it up in the low regeneration mode. The higher regeneration, unless your battery depletes down and you need the additional charge, well, I'd advise you not to go into that high recuperation mode. In low, you still get the coasting effect, so there isn't a default coasting level you could select. But the low regeneration, well, that allows the car to still move forward a fair amount of momentum without it coming to a complete halt immediately. The Green Plus mode in the Mini Cooper SE, well, that also behaves like the range mode that we get in the Audi e-tron. Allows you to draw the maximum efficiency out of that battery pack and gives you a fair amount of range extension. The flip side is that a lot of the comfort features that you get, like the air conditioning or the heating for that matter, switches off completely. So use that mode only in an absolute emergency. So the Mini Cooper SE, the Mini Cooper Electric, well, at the price point it's available at, I think this is a fairly good bargain and something that, well, if your interests lie in this direction, then this is certainly one of the nicest cars that you can buy in the segment today.